This is Robert Demers for Conman here at the New York Comic Con, and I'm here with Sara Woolley, independent comic book creator. Can you please tell us what you're showing off here today?
Sure. I'm showing some original prints and original artwork, as well as my graphic novel, Los Pirineos, the mostly true memoirs of Esperancita Gomez. It is written by my mom and myself, and it's about my family's immigration from Colombia to the United States. I'm also here representing a new comic called Fate and Company, written by Mark Boutros and illustrated by me. And this is a sci-fi supernatural comic, also a creator-owned indie comic. Yeah. What else can I tell you about?
How was it creating your comic book with your mother and with the creative process?
Amazing. Actually, we got a grant to be able to go back to Colombia and research my family's story from the National Association of Latino Arts and Culture. And so we were able to go to all of the original sites of the events that happened. My grandfather was a political organizer in the 1940s, and so when Colombia erupted into a civil war, my family had to go into hiding to leave the country. And now it's safe to travel where they were, so we were actually able to go back and retrace her footsteps. It was an amazing experience. And then we've co-written since then. Generally, she does a first round, I'll ask interview questions, and then I'll storyboard the things that she's telling me, and from that we end up at a manuscript.
So not only the story, but is the art itself inspired by actual places?
Absolutely. It's we took tons of photos, and so all of the colors that are in it, all of the lushness in it, mirrors the lushness of Colombia. It's an incredibly beautiful country with these shades of green that it's kind of hard to put into words. I'd never seen so many shades of green. It's very, very lush. And so I based a lot of my palette off of those original photos. We also got to take pictures, do some archival research to be able to make sure that the Colombia that I was representing, the city of Bogota, actually looks like what it looked like back then.
So this is pretty much a time capsule of your family.
It definitely is, yes.
And you think you would, later on, you would show future family members of what it was like with your mother and her story?
Oh, definitely. My family they all have copies of it, Family buys them first. And they're very moved that our family story has been able to be captured in this way.
And Fate and Company, what was the process of doing the art for this book?
Oh, it's been amazing. Fate and Company, I'm lucky enough to work with an author who originally comes from television, and he does like horror directing. And so this project, he wrote a TV pilot, and so it was originally a TV pilot called The Collectors. And so working with someone who had that kind of experience to be able to art direct me as I'm pacing the story was an incredible experience. Plus, it's an amazingly lush world. It's a lot of fun. He let me take a lot of creative liberties in, the kind of palette that I was using and the kind of sort of Photoshop special effects, I guess, to really depict the sci-fi world. It's a lot of fun. And a big departure from Los Pirineos. Also, not a kid's book. This is YA. This you probably want to be above 18. Maybe not 18, maybe 15. I don't know. Kids are,
Originally, what was it about comics that made you so interested?
Storytelling. Storytelling through pictures. I mean, it's pretty simple. All my work's narrative. It always has been. I came out of a painting background, and the criticism that I always received was that it's too narrative. And for me, that was a compliment. I want to tell stories. And so that was a natural segue into comics and kids' books. Those are the two things I do.
And are you planning future stories?
Definitely. Well, Fate and Company is going to keep me busy for this year, and probably, Los Pirineos, I'm working on the second part of that, so lots of projects ahead. I'm also working on, I have a third one that's kind of in the back brain, but I don't want to take on too many things at once.
And where can our audience members find your work and even maybe purchase your books?
SaraWoolley.com. I don't know if you can That come out? There you go. All right. Very easy. It's just my name. And there's a store on there and everything. So you can get my books, prints, anything you like.
Well, thank you very much for talking to us, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the time here at the convention.
Sure. Thank you for taking the time to interview me. Have a great con.